Hey, good day there, YouTubers. What we got today is I've got three radios from Mitch. I'm going to make a video with all three of them. They all came to me with saying that they don't key up. That's all it says, is just no key up. So I'm taking it that they're here for repair. I'm going to give Mitch a call just to verify, make sure he doesn't want anything else done. But this one here, the first thing I seen was, I've already started on this radio, but the final was just hanging. No insulator on it, no screw in it, nothing, just hanging. So we went ahead and took it out, and upon looking at it, now like I said, I've already started on the radio. I don't know how well. Let's see if we can clear this up a little bit. There we go. Solder trace all broke here, nothing hooked together, and then the ground's all broke up. That's where the ground would go normally, the leg, and as you see, there's a slice there and a slice there. I've already cleaned the copper off here and around in here, and what I'm going to do is we're going to fix these broken solder traces, reinstall another final in it, and hopefully get it up keying. We'll be back with an update. Alright, back on the 29, that's what it was. It was the final, which was right here. Here's the factory final. Like I said, it was missing the insulation pad, the screw with the insulator on it, plus we found a bad cap in there that was making it act a little flaky. Can't remember what this cap came from, but two caps and a 1969 final. Now them 69 finals are getting harder and harder to get. Trying to find genuines out there, and out these Chinese knockoffs is freaking crazy anymore. But I went through the radio, done everything on it, retuned it out. I still got to call the customer, see if he wants to do any more, but this is where we're at now. We've got it working. This is one of those Dustin modded radios, which he makes great power with it. A couple things here. Limiter's missing. I didn't do anything with that. Like I said, I've got to call the customer. And just a few other odds and ends that I'm not real crazy about in the radio. One of the big things, and it's a 1969 final, and this is something that was always done back in the day. Jumping the protection diode for the transformer, I don't do that. If something happens, you know, I mean, it'll come back and back into that transformer, could melt down the transformer. I've seen that a lot of times. I patched up his traces here, stiffened up with wire the best we could. Other than that, we just went through the circuitries and we redid everything. Now, I cleaned up all the knobs. All of them were dirty. They were real gritty feeling when you turned them, and the volume knob, when you went up and down with it, it would just give that horrendous sound through the speaker. So I cleaned all that up. Plus, we tightened up the volume knob. It was extremely loose. But this is this is where we're at right now with it. And this is one of those comp tune mods, is what they called it. So, you know, I'll show you something here in a second, but we're going to show you the scope. And let's just get a signal going through it. And as you see, I've got it not looking bad. But the problem with this picture is those negatives, which is that straight line going across, which is really bright. Give me 1 second. I'm going to readjust the scope a little bit. Let's see. There we go. I don't know if y'all can make that out or not. But see, the negatives aren't going curvature anymore with it. So no matter where I put the mic gain, I tried to clean it up as much as possible. But there's only so much you can do when the limiter's gone in the radio. And at this point, I've got it somewhat rounded. It's still nothing to really be extravagant about. But, yeah. And then it just cuts the modulation down to 50% at that point. As you see, it's 50% modulation. So it's not a very clean radio, but some of these guys, they just, you know, don't care about that. So let's get this thing back up to where it's kind of whack, which is about 12 o'clock is where I've got the mic gain at. And let me show you what she's doing here. We're working a 50-watt slug, 2-watt dead key. I played around with the dead keys and stuff like that to see if I could clean it up any, but that was no hope. But here we go. Oh, yeah. And as you see, it says 12 bird. Now, I would really tell you that this radio is more of a 10 bird radio. maybe 9 because of how bad it looks on the scope with them negatives. So it's really not doing those watts. Here's PEP. Hello. And as you see, it puts the 50 in the corner. And let's go on. We're going to move to the 100 watt slug for PEP mode. And this is one thing I've noticed with this style radio, and I'm going to show you all this here in a second. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. And as you see, it's showing about 70. Now, this is one of the YO chipped radios, which I tell people about all the time. If you pick up one of these, man, these things are just peak monsters. They do good RMS. I mean, this radio is capable of 14, 15 RMS if tuned right. But see, here's the sticker that I tell everybody about. Now, definitely when it comes on the back of the radio, you can guarantee it's got that YO chip in it. But sometimes I've seen them on the lid too. And the difference is right here where the audio chip goes into, the way it's set up, you know, for all this. I'm not going to go through all the definitions of what each pin goes for, but this is how you know it has the YO chip in it. And these things are just monsters. The only downside to this chip is if it ever blows out, there's not a replacement available nowhere. I've got 2 radios sitting on my shelf right now that I've been hunting and hunting and hunting for a chip and cannot find one. I'd even take it out of a used radio at this point now. But needless to say, that chip just makes this radio badass. I mean, I own a few of them myself personally. I mean, you just talk about a downright bad radio. That chip right there. And if set up properly, like I set up most of mine, and most people see my radios on the scopes, they're just fantastic radios. So there you go. 1 down, 2 more to go. We'll be back. Alright guys, we're off to the Superstar, which was the second radio out the batch, and it no worky. So we got to find out what's up. Got it hooked up now. At least I'm getting the lights. I can hear the beep, but no watts. No watts on nothing. Nothing coming through the scope. So let's get in this puppy and we'll find out what's up. We'll be back with an update. Alright guys, back on the Superstar. And let me show you what we found here. We've got it working now. I'm going to fire it up here in a second. A couple things I'm still going to do to it that I talked to the customer on the phone about. The limiter's clipped out of it. I'm gonna clear up some. There you go. Somebody's just took a pair of snips and just clipped the limiter right out of it. Right down there, TR32. Bad move. And we'll do a little tune-up on it for him. But let's get down to what we got. Alright, this thing was a job on its own. We found a few things. The driver was bad. This diode in front of it was shot. That's probably what did the driver in. This final was bad. This diode was bad. Okay. Also found this cap was supposed to be a 390. It was only showing a capacitance of about 140. So we changed that out. Reset the biasing for him. Let's go into the bottom here. Also, these 2 caps were completely missing, which should be in there. That could have been a possible reason why it was acting kind of crazy. This radio's had numerous work on it, solder work. Previously, I guess loose solder joint, stuff like that. There was a little red wire hanging over here, not attached to anything but this one joint. Right there, I'm sorry. I took it out because it wasn't hooked to nothing. But we got her up and running now, so let me hook this up real fast. And then I'll do another video after we do a tune on it for him. But right now it is working, and that's what we want. Alright, power's on. About a 1 watt dead key. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Swinging to 3. PP. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's about 29. So there it is. Alright, we'll be back with an update. Okay guys, back on the Superstar. Got it all tuned up for him. This is what we got. Hold on, let me get the data set just the same as the other one. They were about a watt before. Still a watt. Oh, yeah. And as you see, it takes right off. Let's hit PEP. Oh, yeah. About 38. There you go. Oh, yeah, 38. So, there you go, all fixed and everything. We had to also, I didn't mention in the last video, I did also have to replace 2 of the regulators, 2 of the AM regulators also. So, yeah, this thing was a little bit of a job. All right, let me move on to the next one, and then he wants me to go comp tune the 29 for him. So, we'll be back. Guys, what we got here is a RCI 2970 DX. Doesn't work, won't key up, nothing. I've already test fired it. I got a couple things here going on. I got to still do some tests on it. Capacitor's flat, so that might be the root of what caused his problems. I don't know yet until I get in here, but we got that. He's got some noise toys in here. I'm thinking they got probably moved around enough underneath the amp board that somebody squeezed it all together. I'm going to try to see if we can't stick them back. And then there's a dust and swing mod in it. So we're just going to leave that alone. That area right there is not a bad area to play with, so we'll wait and see what she does for watts. But alright, let me get on to work. Instead of doing the cap on the other side, I opted to go on the bottom here, just in case it doesn't get squeezed again. Here's the other one. It was squeezed pretty good. Yeah, flat. And then it was the final. So, just the final blown in this radio. So, 11969 and capacitor. Alright, we're going to fire this thing up here in a second. Let me get it all hooked up and see her if she works. Alright guys, we put a new final in it and all that, and here's it fired up. Oh yeah. About 35 on the RMS. Let's get a bigger slug here. I don't have a bigger slug over here. Okay, give me a second. Let me get my 250. I'll be back. Okay, guys, got the 250 in here, and let's see what she's doing. Oh yeah. So right at the 200. Not bad at all. This one's repaired. We'll get the lids back on it, and we're going to revisit the 29, and we'll be back with an update on that. Guys, we're back on the 29. We're going to comp tune this for him. It's got the dust and tune on it now. This is the one I repaired earlier. Talked to the individual. He wanted us to, go ahead and put our tune on it. Now, here's a lowdown with the scope. As you see, flats on the negatives, arched on the positives, pretty nasty. And that's the mic gain at 12 o'clock. Let me see something here. Yeah, worse when I wide open it. Even with the mic gain off, and that's pretty much off. That's about 8 o'clock on the mic gain. The positives look good, but the negatives still look like crap. So there's a problem right there. And let's turn this thing up some. See what it's supposedly doing, because whatever the meter tells me is really going to be a lie just because of what that scope tells me. Hello. So about 12 bird. Peak. Oh, yeah. About 45. Alright, we'll be back with an update. Alright guys, let's get the show on the road here. Reference signals up. As you see, 200% modulation. Negatives look great. This thing's going to be smoking. Put it on frequency. It was really off on frequency. Alright, get over here. We still got the 50 watt slug in. Okay. About a 2.5 watt dead key. On. So as you see, a hair over 14. Now, let me turn this back just a little, because I think it was at 1 watt when we started. So let's just go to the 1 watt cell. Oh, yeah. So as you see, still over 14. Let's go on, back it down to a 1/2 watt. Oh, yeah. Still just a hair over 14. So, and now PEP mode. Zap it in on some PEP here. Oh, as you see, 50 in the corner. All right. I'm going to flip this slug out. And this is one of those ones with that YO chip in it, so these really do a lot of peak watts. Oh, yeah. There you go. Over 80. All right, fellas. We're done with this, with Mitch's collection of radios. Hopefully, he enjoys them. We enjoy doing them for him, man. No two doubts about it. This old Stickman at the No Name MCB shop. If this is something that you have that you'd like to have done, give us a shout. We'll help you out. We'll see you. Bye-bye.